I remember the first time I helped a British expat apply for a UK mortgage. They were shocked to find the interest rate was higher than what their friends were paying back home. At first glance, it doesn't make sense, right? You've got a solid income, maybe stronger finances than you did when you lived in the UK. But the moment you apply for a mortgage as an expat, it's like a different set of rules kicks in, and this can catch a lot of people off guard. If you don't understand how being an expat changes the mortgage landscape, you could end up with a higher rate, limited lender options, or worse, end up unable to secure a mortgage at all. And when you're trying to build wealth or keep options open for a UK return, that can set you back. So here's what I've learned from helping expats navigate this minefield. The first, lenders do see expats as a higher risk even if your finances are solid. A lot of lenders just don't deal with expats, especially if they're paid in a foreign currency. Some will only consider certain countries. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, it's just how underwriting works. Different banks have different opinions on what's considered high risk and what isn't. So the first step is finding the right lenders who specialize in expats. Second, rates and products could be more limited, but there are ways to improve what you're offered. If you've got a larger deposit, a strong credit history in the UK, or potentially if some of your income is still earned in GBP even while abroad, that can sometimes open better doors. It's not always about shopping around, sometimes it's actually about understanding where your strengths lie in your situation and positioning yourself better to the lender. Third, planning ahead makes a massive difference. I've seen clients who gave themselves more than 6 months in some situations to sort out their tax returns, update their UK credit file, tidy up their bank statements, and they end up with a completely different set of lender options than if they'd waited until they're about to complete on the property or exchange and they're rushing into the mortgage process. Mortgages for expats, whilst overall they probably are slightly more expensive than if you were living in the UK, but definitely rewarded for good preparation and you can close that gap. If you're thinking about buying in the UK while living abroad, or even just want to leave the door open, it's worth taking some time to understand this stuff much earlier than you need to. What this really highlights for me is that control over your money starts with knowing the landscape. When you understand how your expat status affects things, like mortgage rates, you stop being blindsided, and that builds confidence. You can make clearer decisions with less stress and fewer surprises. And that's a big part of feeling in control with your financial life.